I like got a text message right as it said one, and it went like right when it came on the air. That's awesome. Listen, everybody, welcome. We are back, and this is Top Rope Talk, all pro wrestling all the time. I am the sniper. He's the pundit, and he has a bit of a different background today, man. Almost
People
kind of
will
like
miss the kitchen. People will miss the kitchen. I know.
I know, almost like a masterpiece theater kind of thing you got going on, man. Just missing the fireplace.
Yeah, yeah. I'm spoiled right now. I think I get one of those.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we took a hiatus for the holidays and everything, and then what happened last? Something happened last week. It was we had a meeting, but we are back, and we are on the road to the Royal Rumble. Big happening that happened while in between the last time we were on the air and now is The Rock actually showed up to Monday Night Raw and officially called out. Okay, I'm just gonna say officially, all right, because we aren't stupid. He didn't call him by name, but he challenged Roman Reigns. Okay,
Yeah.
and we actually are going to address that in our weekly, of course, finisher DQ that we already. Oh, give me 1 second here. Ah, Something happened on my Twitch. Okay, never mind. So, but anyway, we are broadcasting on YouTube and also on Facebook as well. You can follow us on Sideline Sports Network on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, MGBN TV. Coming out later on this month. Big launch, big launch. So stay tuned. We just hit 1,000 followers. Thank you, everybody out there who's going to be tuning in to NGBN TV and who followed. I sent out some invites. I know Jacob did. A lot of our guys
Mhm.
did. JB Ellis, James Tatum, of course, the Big Chief Ian Hill. We getting this pushed out real quick. We're going to be streaming on a lot of platforms. We're going to be seen in a lot of homes worldwide. So thank you all for following NGBN TV and stay tuned for more and more content that we bring to you every single week. And so now let's go ahead and get it started. And that is our Raw results from January the 8th. So The Miz defeated JD McDonough. And in a street fight in the main event, Cody Rhodes defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. So my question, and I know there's been a lot of names been thrown around. That guy from Chicago who just returned, maybe even that guy that took second place last year's Royal Rumble. But is Cody Rhodes building his resume to hold a world title in 2024?
Yes, but no. Nakamura. It's not much to beat Nakamura right now because he hasn't. He doesn't really win anything. He doesn't win anything of note, and that's the big problem. Remember, they build him up as dangerous. They
Right.
build him up as this very dangerous guy. And remember all of my stories I had about Nakamura that I
Right.
wanted them. Remember, I wanted Becky involved. I wanted her thinking about it. She's almost lost her match. All of those
Hmm.
ideas. There's reasons why I come up with these ideas. Reasons why. It's because of that. It's like build up to this. Why? So if Rhodes had Nakamura, it makes it matter.
Right.
But now, yeah, of course he's building it up, but it's building toward himself. It didn't do anything. The Shinsuke didn't. They haven't built him properly, and that's the big
Mm.
thing. And as far as JD McDonough, who doesn't beat JD McDonough?
Yeah, he's like the. It's crazy because it's like he's the weak link in the Judgment Day, but he's responsible for so many Judgment Day victories.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, look at the size of him. The purity of truth. It's like he'll never get. It's like this isn't Rey Mysterio. He'll never get farther than what he is.
Hmm.
He's
Yeah.
not going to get. He's really not going to get farther than what he is. He's just not. It's like remember, Vince McMahon was always a size guy. Who takes over for Vince? A size.
Yeah.
Even though it's like I think you would have more chance of a Rey Mysterio with Vince than you did with, as much as he would like him, than you did with Triple H.
But also keep in mind, it was Triple H who was responsible for smaller guys winning world championships with Daniel Bryan, CM Punk. He was responsible when he first stepped foot in corporate. He said, long gone are going to be the days of jacked up dudes with only 5 moves to their name winning world championships.
Which is why you have world champion Brock Lesnar, who doesn't have 5 moves.
Right.
What he meant by that is he's going to have more if you're going to be a jacked up dude.
Yes,
But
yes,
but
absolutely.
but it wasn't going to be JD McDonough is what he's
Mhm.
saying. It's like these what he's saying is you're going to look like a man.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Now, also keep in mind oh man, one score game, Pittsburgh. I said this was going to be a close one. Um, Now, also keep in mind, Triple H is also basing this off of himself because he's far from a small man, and he had a full-on move set, probably a top 10 move set of all time.
See, it's funny because we think of Hulk Hogan with TNA. Who wins a world title with Hulk Hogan around TNA? Eric Young.
Yeah,
Eric Young. And it's like, I think, it's one of those things where it's like, I think these old timers, some of these old timers get the idea more than most that, the little guys can win it. But remember, Eric Young, even as a small guy, looks like a man. What
yeah,
we're saying, we're not saying height. We're not saying height. I mean, we can say what we want about CM Punk. They look like, when you take a look at him, he looks like a man.
yeah,
It's like when you're seeing I'm going to say Evan Bourne, not really. He had a baby face and all that. That wasn't going to win anything.
yeah,
He was just excitable to watch.
yeah. That's true. I mean, and even John Moxley, and John Moxley's not small, but he looks like a man.
Well, they look. And that's the big thing is what Triple H is saying. That's like this is what remember when you see Jim Cornette what he talks about on his podcasts.
Hmm.
That's what he's talking about when he's talking about his podcast. He's saying when you see these guys, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, they look like men come. Even if we can't say that much about Shawn. He was kind of playgirl, but
Yeah,
but no
absolutely.
matter what, they walk down to the ring with a purpose. They look more like men than what you see.
Yeah, yeah, they absolutely do. The point is, even for what they may lack in size, they made up for it in some kind of look. You look at CM Punk, and he's tatted like all outdoors, right? And then you look at somebody like Daniel Bryan, and I mean, for being a small guy, well, he was shredded, but he was also very, very, very skilled. He probably was the best mat wrestler at the time period.
Well, you want to know Daniel Bryan was ahead because you think of Chris Benoit. No one in WCW would give Chris Benoit the time of day as far as bouncing for him, and he had the stuff for it.
He did.
He had the offense for it. Basically, Daniel Bryan was the finished product of Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah.
because he had the same moves, basically a few more. Bryan had a few more, but he had the same moves. But that's the idea of. I mean, they wouldn't bounce for Chris Benoit. None of the big guys would. They
No.
do for Bryan.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they would. The crazy part is Benoit was way bigger in size than Brian.
Well, Benoit, intense. Those, it's like this is probably why you didn't get a lot of main eventers to face him. He wasn't going to slow down.
Okay, if you were to compare it to football players, right?
Yeah,
Um, Daniel Bryan was Wes Welker.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Chris Benoit was near Mike Allstott.
Oh my God, just intense and and you're talking about Allstott. Me being a Bears fan, this is a guy from Naperville, Illinois. It's like, I mean, Bears, you're horrible. Put a feeler out on the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, all those years of him in Tampa and destroying the Bears, I'm like, why is he still in Tampa? Why isn't he
Yeah.
going home? I mean, put a feeler out.
Yeah, I mean, but if you looked at him like size wise, like that pretty much matches up. Benoit had crazy mass. I think at around the time of his death, he was 230, 231 maybe, you know, and that's the crazy part about, pro wrestling and saying small wrestlers like Benoit and Guerrero, they easily could have played running back in the pros.
Well, and the big thing about it is their moves had an intensity. I don't like saying move set; it sounds stupid, but their moves had such an intensity that they didn't need to put that weight on. They just look like they hurt you.
Yeah.
And they probably did. That's probably why they didn't get a whole bunch. Like in WWE, they got a whole bunch of them. But in WCW, they probably didn't get a whole bunch of those kind of matches because, yeah, it's going to hurt Nash.
Yeah,
As fast as they move, that stuff's going to hurt.
it will.
That stuff's going to hurt Hogan. That's going to hurt Hall. Like, Hall would give it. He'd take it. But I'm like, the way that they moved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but also, guys like Angle, Benoit, like they're built to go like an Iron Man match, right? And they
Yeah.
did. Um, Guys like Nash isn't. They aren't.
I still think you think about this Angle and Benoit versus Harlem Heat.
Oh man, that would have been amazing. And you know, and when I say that, that's not saying that Nash is an unhealthy character or anything like that. It's just like a man his size is not supposed to go 60 minutes.
No.
Not even Hall is supposed to go 60 minutes. Now Brock Lesnar, he actually has an amateur wrestling background. He can do that, and he did.
Well, one of the things he's smart. Benoit, I mean not Benoit, but I'm talking about Lesnar smart because he's had his long matches and he'll do his long matches in three ways where he'll find a way to get hurt where you take him out
Hmm.
so he can rest a little bit. Because remember, he turns purple now.
Yeah,
He turns purple now. He doesn't. It's like if you give him a match like he had against Eddie, he turns purple after about 10 minutes. So you have to let him rest.
you have to. Yeah. Well, before we move on to our next topic, and speaking of Iron Man matches, if you were to stick Cody Rhodes in the Iron Man match right now, if you were to book one, who would be his opponent?
Oh, what would be awesome? There's a few awesome matches there, but I'd love Roman. I love
Yeah.
Roman. That would
Hmm.
be. I'd love Roman. Any of the Samoans, any of them, I would love that. But
Hmm.
it's got to go to Seth.
I would say Seth, and hear me out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Chad Gable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I think it actually would be a better match with Gable and Rhodes.
Well, here's another one, Gunther.
Woo! Good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah, Gunther. Oh yeah, no, I love the guy. I wish he was still Walter because I think Walter had more of a intimidating sounding name.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely. Well, we got to go on to our next topic here, and that's our SmackDown results from with the 12th. There's our graphic there. And so, with that being said, so Belair defeated Bailey, and the final testament appears, man. And of course, in the main event, Orton, Styles, and Knight they defeated the Bloodline. Paul Heyman couldn't find a third for Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, so they tried taking out Orton at the beginning, as during his entrance. So they narrowed it down to 2-on-2. But then Orton came out at the end and helped the other two, helped Styles and Knight finish the match, and then they finished it all by putting I think it was Solo Sokoa through a table. Uh,
So it's
First
just
I
two
want
of
to,
the bloodline. So it's just two of the bloodline.
yeah, yeah,
I
pretty
mean,
much.
I mean, here's the thing: put Heyman in there, make it 3-on-2 on their end. Remember, he's an absolute best coward we get. It's like they're gonna fool you. Put the Heyman in there, he won't go in there, and then then everybody's you got to say L.A. Knight down. Put
Yeah.
and it's like all of a sudden he's kicking on him. He can get the pin, everything. Then Orton's music appears.
Yeah,
Yeah, then his appear, and then guess what? And guess what? Since he doesn't bump anymore, the Heyman gets out of there.
yeah, and then
Heyman gets on out 3-on-2. Goodbye.
yeah, and then that's it. But before we go a little bit more into that, the Final Testament, the newest faction that got formed with an OG that we know, Paul Ellering, and also Carry On Cross and the Authors of Pain. I've been waiting for these brothers to make a comeback. What do you think about this collective that has come together?
Love that name, the Final Testament. Love it. And it's like, why does it take? This is remember what I told you about this writers? Why I can't stand writers?
Hmm.
Why is it taking this long for Authors of Pain to get anywhere?
Yeah,
Why? It's like just look at their name, look at their look, everything. Why did it take this long? Who goes in the writing room and goes, "Oh, gotta take a look at these guys. I don't know what to do. I
yeah.
have no ideas. Just take one look. If they're about 300 pounds, so like, I have no idea."
If you look, when the Authors of Pain, were in WWE the first time, and if you really look at them, it's as if D'Lo Brown and the Shield had twin sons.
Absolutely. And this is the thing. Who should make them bump? Orton, Styles, and Knight. That's about it, is the
That's a
point.
yeah,
It's like you need a bunch. You got a bunch of guys. Again, JD McDonough. Again, everything like that. All of those. You got guys to make them dangerous.
Well, to be fair, they immediately went after Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, which should make for a good rivalry.
Yeah, but again, you went exceptionally after them right off the bat. Remember the Road Warriors?
Of course.
Remember
Ellering was
Yeah,
one of
I'm
the
saying, but remember
manager.
the Road Warriors? It's like they used to just beat the tar out of the Midnight Express, beat the tar out of everybody.
This is
Then,
probably why he took
then
on the
you had
Authors
the
of Pain.
then you had the Powers of Pain, and then you have that. Go after some guys, then go after the Street Profits.
Yeah, but and don't get me wrong, the Street Profits are still one of the best tag teams in WWE today. However, as of right now, they're in the middle of the tag division. Like it,
Well, I think they're being called the Pride now. I think they're thinking about that.
yeah, yeah, they're thinking about naming them the Pride or something like that. I
You know,
don't.
Street Profits still a pretty cool name, but no, this is the thing. Where do you go if one loses? That's the point I'm making of building a story. And there's such a fear with WWE and these writers. They have a fear that people do not want, that they don't want to wait long. They'll wait. Marvel proves from them 9 movies, from those 9 movies, Marvel proves people will wait
Yeah.
for a good solid story. 3 years of the bloodline, they'll wait. But there's
hmm
always a fear that they won't wait. And that's
Of course,
the
you
funnel.
know the reason why? Because it is so easy to lose the audience's attention, to lose the crowd's attention. This is why, like, year-long storylines. Okay, so I'll give you an example. You remember when The Rock interfered in the Miz versus Cena? Miz retained the title, and it
Yep.
set up WrestleMania the next year.
I know. I
They
was
had to
there.
do a whole. They had great. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They had to do a whole entire year storyline
Yeah.
to build up for that one match. And see, here's the thing, and this is why I give so much praise to WWE. It is pretty damn hard. I don't think we'll ever see anything like this again. I don't think we've even seen it like before. I'm talking about 3 solid years going into year 4 of like this storyline, and it never lost steam. It keep people on their toes. And you need a generational. If you're gonna do something like this, you need a generational superstar who's going to kind of lead the charge. You know what I'm saying?
You won't see it again. You won't see it again because it's not the remember, like I said, every single time you see a generational something like that, it's always the family giving ideas.
Yeah,
There's always someone giving ideas. Who's what writer's going to come up with that for 3 years? I mean, they aren't because remember they are basically the comedy writers. They're
yeah.
basically writers from Hollywood. Especially there's more of those now, especially when there were strikes.
hmm
So I mean, basically, it's like the one that didn't have the attention was Vince McMahon. Triple H
Yeah,
has the attention. He
yeah.
has the attention. That's the thing. I mean, Vince McMahon had 8-second attention like a fish.
Pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah. So those are, but it's like, are we seeing? By the way, are we seeing Reigns' final day as champion? Sure. And truth, here's the thing: he passes Hogan. Who cares? If he doesn't pass Hogan, who cares? No,
well,
none of them need it.
more on that in a minute for our finisher DQ.
Yeah.
Want to go to our next to last topic here. So how about this? Goldberg's son aligns with Coach Prime. So Gage Goldberg, he's 6 feet, 205-pound middle linebacker, commits to the University of Colorado. He said in an interview that he thinks that it would be awesome for him to play for one of his dad's best friends. So what does this mean to the Goldberg legacy? What does it mean to the sport of football? And what does it mean to pro wrestling to you?
Nothing. He's going to make his own. Gage Goldberg's going to make his own. And he'll make. And I can't believe we saw Goldberg 7 years ago when the kid's 12,
Yeah, right.
and now he's going. And that's unreal. It's like it just shows that just shows where the Grays come from.
Oh yeah,
no, but no. Truthfully, though, Goldberg has a work ethic like crazy. Bill Goldberg has a ridiculous work ethic. So Gage is going to get that. He's going to get that. So darn good and well, Dion will love that.
right.
He's going to love that part. That's the big thing. So it doesn't mean anything to a legacy. It's just I mean, if Gage was lazy, forget it. If you forget it, because that guy plays no favorites. He really, I mean, he loves Travis. He loves
hmm
Travis Hunter. He loves his son. But even if it was his son, forget it. Forget it. If you're lazy, you're gone. He even
Right.
says he changes his favorites among his boys. That's his
Yeah.
so if Travis Hunter, if he wasn't good and he didn't put it all into it, forget it.
Mm.
So Gage is going to have work to do.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. You know, and it's seemingly like this whenever you have the son or daughter of legends. It just kind of is what it is. Like,
Well, he's a small middle linebacker. He's going to have to put on here. The thing I hate, he's a small middle linebacker, real small. Remember that is nearer to trying to think who Singletary. I
yeah,
mean, he was 222. So it's like that's near to Singletary. He's going to have to put on 30 pounds and quick
yeah, he
because he's
is.
getting the camp time 3 months.
Yeah, and he's gonna have to do so without losing that intensity. I mean, if they still opt to play him at this size, and he's out there like tearing it up. I mean, you know, but also at the same time, they could just drop him to strong safety.
And that is true. But does he have the speed?
He probably does.
Yeah. Does he have the speed? You got to remember they did the whole white versus black team thing and everything, and you don't see many safeties in the backfield
Yeah,
and doing all that. That's the funny part of it. But it's like so now the NFL has Gage Goldberg and Cooper DeJean.
yeah. And Cooper DeJean is looking at being the first white defensive back taken since Jason Sehorn. Well, Sehorn was a first rounder, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, but Cooper DeJean will be better than Seahorn. That guy
Probably
is,
will.
and they're probably going to be using him in the Devin Hester point. He is tough.
Hmm.
He is tough, and it's like here he would be an absolute star at Georgia.
Yes.
Absolute star. He would be in the Brock Bowers idea.
Right.
So there's those, but Gage really he's going to have the same intensity as his dad. He's going to think, but he's got to put on weight quick.
Yeah.
Which is that healthy? Who knows?
How much? How much though? That's the thing.
I mean, truthfully, the way remember, there's not a lot of 222 pound linebackers anymore, so it'd have to be at least 30 pounds. And remember, it's camp comes in 3 4 months.
Dude, even if he puts on that puts him at 235, and even 235 is considered small for a linebacker, at least at about a pro level. Like, okay, you look at Zach Thomas, right?
Yeah,
Zach Thomas played both ways. He played middle linebacker and fullback at Texas Tech. Now he was a small linebacker, and that's about fullback size at 235, so that worked. But when you get to the pros, dude, linebackers are going 240 at least.
I know that, but it's like you don't want to. 30 pounds is pushing it. 30 pounds is pushing it, and so you don't want him to do 40 and 50 and get him doing illegal and hurting himself and hurting his body.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, you got to remember, who we brought up Benoit earlier. You know who brought that up? I
Hmm.
mean, remember how he gained weight so dang fast? Eddie gained it so dang fast, and
Yeah,
then
he
their
did.
hearts were shot.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do that. You want it to be safe. It's like if you want to keep him at a light level, you like you said, free safety, and you get that thing and just build it slowly. But with that kind of guy, Goldberg built like crazy, so he's probably training his son.
Yeah. And also at the same time, keep in mind he is playing middle linebacker. Now his dad played defensive end, and
Yeah.
so he's going to want to rush the quarterback like his dad did.
Well, his dad was 295.
Yeah.
His dad was 295. So it's like this is going to be a little different.
Hmm.
It's going to be a little different, and
I mean, he was 295 by the time he hit college. By the time he went to Georgia,
yeah,
he was already like 290.
yeah, and it's like something, but something tells me Gage doesn't gain as easily as his dad.
Ah, true.
Something tells me that if he's 205 now, and with the training with football, something tells me he does. Something tells me he has a hard time gaining.
Yeah, that metabolism's still in him.
Yep. Oh, yeah, well, and it's the same. I mean, some people have a hard time gaining muscle.
Yeah.
I mean, 205 is nice for the regular everyday human being,
Hmm.
everyday boy. He's a man now. 6 foot 205 is a man now, but football, he's small.
Yeah. 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 He is. I mean, switch him to running back. He's a speed back.
That is true. That's true. But where's his speed? And that's we have to figure that out. And you got to remember, there's a lot of 6'2", 6'3" running backs now. They're taking the Derrick Henry deal.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're looking to be like his size, and even then, that's a generational size. Like Henry was like the second coming of Brandon Jacobs in a sense.
Could you imagine in the same backfield Eric Dickerson and Derrick Henry?
Oh Jesus, Why is the quarterback throwing?
Yeah, I know exactly. It's like I mean they're both 6'3", both 225, 230, and I mean Dickerson was ahead of his time.
Oh yeah, of course.
I can tell you this: only reason Dickerson didn't get the all-time grade is because he was with Peyton.
He was with Peyton. Yeah.
He was with Peyton because he would be all-time. Peyton was just another world of man.
Oh
And
yeah.
just like that, he did it all, including. But if he was not around, if it was a different generation, forget it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, got a couple of minutes left, and last topic, finish the DQ. I said we would get to it, and now we are here. Finish the DQ. Rock Reigns does not need to be a title match at WrestleMania 40 to be it.
See, here's the thing: it's like that. It doesn't have to be a title match. That's correct. That's a finish. But here's the thing: who ends Reigns? Rock. Does Rock need it? No. It's like it's just family ending family.
Yeah.
So, I mean, truthfully, you got to remember who really went to the top to take the Undertaker out. Someone who was on the very big edge of being a star and was right there. It's Lesnar still, who's
Yeah.
dangerous. But I'm like he shot to the complete moon.
Hmm.
He shot to the complete moon, beating Taker and taking that thing. But he had his star power and he had everything. But Cody Rhodes is not. And they're saying this. Cody Rhodes is not Brock Lesnar as far as the power. That finishing Reigns off and finishing would shoot him to the moon.
Right.
And that's the thing. Rock beating Reigns, not like he needs it. It'll be a phenomenal match because Rock's always in shape.
Yeah.
But but guess what? It's probably Rock's last match.
It's also probably
What is he,
Reigns' last match for
51?
a long time.
What is he, 51?
52.
Yeah, that's his last match too. What do you do? Lose or retire? And
Yeah.
what's the point? No, it doesn't need to be a title match because you're gonna get as many people as you can get. It's gonna be the Taylor Swift on NFL of this thing.
I
You're
put
gonna
it
get
to
a
you. I put it to you like this: if there was no bloodline storyline at all, I would say Reigns needed to win this match in order to receive the torch from Rock.
yeah.
But because it's the bloodline storyline, because he's been the top heel for the last 4 years, Rock has to win. It has to go with the story. Rock has to win this match.
There's little things that I missed with that bloodline. That bloodline storyline was unbelievable, but
It
I
was.
really feel like there were things that he could have done that was really evil, like that really that Reigns could have done, like it's like I have all those grandpas, all those old men could have like pushed him over. I'm the man now, all that kind of stuff, and it's like you could have had those things. You could have beat up on Rikishi, who can take a bump, but you get my point.
Right,
He could
right,
have
right.
done
No.
those things, and then that's how he could have been head of the table and really get booed. But it's
Yeah,
like, but I think he did wonderful. But I'm like, there was little things you could have done. How is he the head of the table? The old men in Samoan culture don't give that up ever.
exactly.
That's the point. How do you give it up? You take it, like in the storyline. That's the point that you never took anything.
Yeah. I mean, but they had to do something storyline wise. But in real world, yeah, the old men don't give it up until they
They die.
die, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the thing. What if he stole it? What if he took it? What if he took the thing? He beats up Rikishi. He is the now I'm the head of the thing, and then you get the young guys. Rock that makes Rock matter.
hmm
I mean that makes Rock matter. That's even more now. That's just the little things.
it is. It is. Well, that is all we have. Thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody on Twitch as well as on YouTube and Facebook. And real quick, Cliff Notes. Where can everybody find you, Jake?
Well, yeah, Cliff Notes, no question about it. 5 days a week, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and sometimes Fridays when you call me on the thing on the Sideline Sports and South Florida Tribune. I've got, I mean, possibilities of some movies, and I do some writing.
All right, awesome, and everybody, if you on Sideline Sports Network, also on James Tatum's, I'm getting jumbled here. YouTube, thank you, YouTube. This Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is going to be the Gauntlet Presents Picked Off Divisional Round Edition. We will be giving our divisional round picks. Wild card weekend is not over with yet. It's looking like Buffalo's going to close this one out. Then we've got Eagles and the Bucks a little bit later on. So, but tune in for Picked Off, and then also, of course, the Gauntlet on Fridays. Punt it on Thursday as well on the South Florida Tribune Network. But we got to get going. I got me a production meeting. So, oh, by the way, Sideline Sports Show tomorrow night on Sideline Sports Network at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself, the Sniper. He is the pundit, and we will see you all next Monday.
Take care.